Have you ever wondered who will truly stand by your side after 60? Is it the people you've loved and supported all your life, your children, your spouse, or your closest friends? Or could it be that as time goes on, the foundation of support you once trusted begins to shift in ways you never expected? When you reach your 60s and beyond, life changes in subtle yet powerful ways. The world around you moves faster, people get busy, and priorities evolve. Suddenly, the safety net you believed would always be there, family, old friendships, familiar routines, begins to feel less certain. It's not that people stop caring, it's that life pulls everyone in different directions. And when that happens, you might find yourself asking, who can I really rely on now? In this video, we'll uncover 6 essential pillars of support after 60. The ones that remain strong even when family can't always be there. This isn't about distancing yourself from loved ones. It's about understanding where real, lasting stability comes from and how to build a life that doesn't leave you vulnerable when challenges arise. Because once you understand and strengthen these 6 pillars, you'll discover a kind of freedom and peace that no one can take away. You'll move through life with confidence, knowing you can stand tall, not out of pride, but out of genuine independence. Stay with me until the end, because these 6 pillars might completely change the way you see support. Once you recognize them, you'll never feel powerless, unprepared, or alone again. Now, let's begin. Pillar 1. Financial stability. The most dependable form of support you'll ever have isn't a person, it's your own financial independence. Money may not buy happiness, but it absolutely buys peace of mind, freedom, and dignity. As you grow older, one truth becomes clear. Relying on family for financial help isn't a plan. It's a gamble. Your children, no matter how much they love you, have their own lives to manage. They're paying mortgages, raising children, and facing their own financial uncertainties. Even when they want to help, they often can't, not because of lack of love, but because life itself is unpredictable. Take Richard, a 72-year-old man who always assumed his kids would be there if he ever hit financial trouble. He had supported them through college, lent money when they needed it, and always offered a helping hand. But when a sudden medical emergency drained his savings, Richard discovered that his children were barely managing their own expenses. They cared deeply, but their hands were tied. That experience taught him something important. Financial stability is one of the strongest pillars of support you can ever build for yourself. It doesn't depend on anyone else's time, mood, or circumstances. It's yours, and it gives you the ability to face life's challenges with dignity, choice, and control. It's not about being rich, it's about being prepared. True financial strength doesn't mean having millions in the bank. It means having a plan for when life throws you a curveball. It's about ensuring you have a reliable source of income, a solid emergency fund, and a clear understanding of how to manage your money so that you'll never have to depend on anyone else just to get by. If you're in your 60s, or beyond, this is the perfect time to pause and ask yourself a few important questions. Do you have enough saved to cover unexpected expenses? Is your retirement income truly secure? Have you reduced financial risks that could leave you exposed or dependent on others? If your honest answer to any of these questions is no, then the time to act is now, not later. Start by learning to budget wisely, avoid unnecessary debt that quietly drains your peace of mind. And most importantly, invest in things that create long-term stability, whether that's a modest property, a small business, or simply a savings plan that grows steadily over time. Because at the end of the day, your financial security is the one pillar of support that never leaves your side, no matter how unpredictable life becomes. Pillar 2. Your physical health. There's one thing in life that no amount of love, money, or emotional support can ever replace: your health. After 60, your body becomes either your greatest ally or your biggest obstacle. You can have all the financial resources in the world, but if your health fails, your freedom disappears right along with it. Family may love you deeply, but they can't exercise for you. They can't eat nutritious meals on your behalf, and they can't stop the natural effects of aging. That responsibility rests solely on your shoulders. Yet far too many people in their later years neglect their health, assuming that when the time comes, someone else will step in to care for them. But the truth is, even if your family wants to help, they have their own lives to manage. They might not have the time, energy, or emotional capacity to become full-time caregivers. And when that happens, relying on others to manage your well-being doesn't just limit your independence, it takes away your sense of control. Consider the story of Carl, a 68-year-old man who had once been active, energetic, and strong. But after retirement, he slowly let himself go. He told himself he'd get back in shape one day, but that day never came. Over time, his energy faded, his mobility weakened, and even simple daily tasks began to feel exhausting. His children visited when they could, but they couldn't be there every day. Eventually, Carl realized a painful truth. If he wanted to stay independent, he had to take responsibility for his health himself. Carl eventually realized that if he wanted to keep his independence, he had to take charge of his health. Not tomorrow, not next year, but right now. You don't need to train like an athlete or run a marathon to stay strong. What matters is consistency. Small daily choices, moving your body, eating nourishing foods, and taking your medical checkups seriously can make a world of difference. If you've been ignoring the warning signs, aches that linger, trouble walking, or energy levels that aren't what they used to be, it's time to stop brushing them aside. Your body is always speaking to you. The question is, are you listening? Every small, healthy choice you make today will pay off in the years ahead. Because at the end of the day, your greatest support system isn't your children, your siblings, or your closest friends. It's your own strength, your ability to stay active, capable, and self-reliant. The more you invest in your health now, the less you'll have to depend on anyone else later. That's real freedom, the kind that allows you to live life on your own terms, no matter your age. Pillar 3. Your social circle. One of the biggest mistakes people make as they grow older is letting their social world shrink. It doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and routines shift until, almost without realizing it, your circle of connection has become smaller than you ever imagined. The danger of this isolation goes far beyond boredom or sadness. Loneliness after 60 isn't just an emotional burden, it's a silent threat to your overall health. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can raise stress levels, weaken your immune system, cloud your thinking, and even shorten your lifespan. And yet, so many older adults assume that family will always fill that gap. But here's the hard truth. Your children love you, but they also have their own responsibilities, their own families, and their own lives to manage. Their intentions are good, but their time is limited. Depending solely on them for companionship can leave you waiting by the phone for calls that might not come as often as you hope. That's why one of the most important pillars of support after 60 is your social circle. The people who check in on you, share laughter, and bring light into your day. These friendships aren't just a pleasant addition to life. They are essential. Human connection keeps your mind sharp, your heart happy, and your spirit alive. Take Margaret, for example, a 73-year-old woman who had always relied on her family for company. She had 2 sons who loved her deeply, but as they got older, their lives became filled with work, children, and constant demands. Slowly, her days grew quieter, and the loneliness began to weigh on her. As the years went by, Margaret's sons became busier with their own families and demanding careers. They still called from time to time, but the daily visits turned into monthly ones, and the lively weekend gatherings grew fewer and farther apart. Margaret began to feel the quiet settling in, days filled with waiting for phone calls that didn't always come. Then one day, she decided enough was enough. She made a change. Instead of waiting for others to reach out, she took the first step herself. She reconnected with old friends she hadn't spoken to in years, joined a local community group, and even picked up new hobbies that introduced her to new faces. Slowly, her world began to open again. Her days were once again filled with conversation, shared laughter, and the comforting rhythm of human connection. She no longer depended on her family to make her feel seen or valued. She built that sense of connection herself. Friendships, community activities, and even casual acquaintances can give you something truly priceless, a sense of belonging. Whether it's chatting with a neighbor, attending a local book club, or joining a group at your nearby gym or park, these small connections form the foundation of emotional strength. The more bonds you create now, the stronger your network of support will be in the years ahead. So ask yourself, who in your life right now brings you genuine joy? Who makes you laugh, encourages you, or simply listens? If that answer isn't clear, it might be time to expand your circle. Because at the end of the day, a strong social network isn't just about having company. It's about surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, remind you of your worth, and make every chapter of life more meaningful and fulfilling. Pillar 4. Your sense of purpose. One of the most overlooked yet powerful sources of support in life isn't another person. It's your own sense of purpose. After 60, many people begin to feel a subtle but profound shift. The roles that once defined you, being a parent, an employee, or a caregiver, start to change or fade away. Retirement sets in, your children live independently, and the daily pace of life slows down. Without something meaningful to work toward, it's easy to feel invisible, unneeded, or even lost. The truth is, no matter how much your family loves you, they can't give you a sense of purpose. That's something you have to create for yourself. Having a reason to wake up each morning, a goal, a project, a passion, keeps your mind active, your emotions steady, and your days filled with meaning. It's what keeps you connected to the world instead of simply watching it pass you by. Think about someone like George, a 70-year-old man whose story reflects this lesson perfectly. George, a retired engineer, thought that leaving the workforce would bring him peace and relaxation. For the first few months, it did. He enjoyed his quiet mornings, unhurried meals, and the freedom to do as he pleased. But soon, an unsettling feeling began to grow, a sense that something important was missing. His days started to blur together, one after another, with no clear reason to get up in the morning. His children visited now and then, but they had their own families, their own lives to manage. The house felt quieter, the hours longer. Then one day, George decided he had to make a change. Instead of waiting for meaning to return, he went out to find it. He began volunteering at a local school, teaching young children how to build simple projects, bridges, toy cars, small wooden crafts. Before long, he felt that spark come alive again. He had a reason to get out of bed, a reason to smile, a reason to feel useful. The laughter of the kids, their curiosity, and their joy reignited his own. Purpose doesn't have to come from a career or a paycheck. It can come from anything that makes you feel alive. Learning something new, mentoring others, gardening, painting, traveling, or even setting small personal goals each week. What matters is that you do things that bring you genuine joy and keep your mind and emotions active. If you've ever found yourself thinking your best days are behind you, it's time to challenge that belief. Your purpose doesn't vanish with age, it transforms. It grows with you, waiting to be rediscovered in new forms. The more you invest in finding meaning in your daily life, the less dependent you'll feel on others to bring you happiness. Because at the end of the day, the strongest support you'll ever have isn't someone holding your hand. It's the fire burning quietly inside you, the one that keeps pushing you forward, no matter how the world changes around you. Pillar 5. Your emotional resilience. Life has a way of testing you, no matter how old you are. After 60, the challenges don't disappear. They simply change shape. Friendships fade, loved ones pass away, health issues arise, and some days feel lonelier than they used to. But here's the truth. No matter how much love and support you receive from others, the most reliable source of strength will always come from within. Your ability to adapt, to process emotions, and to find calm during difficult moments is what keeps you grounded when everything around you shifts. Too many people expect their families to be their emotional anchors, believing their children will always be there to lift them up whenever life gets hard. Many people assume their siblings or extended family will always be there to comfort them when times get tough. But the truth is, everyone has their own battles to fight, their own responsibilities to manage, and their own emotional burdens to carry. They might love you deeply, yet they can't always be the steady source of comfort you need. That's why developing emotional resilience becomes so essential. It gives you the power to find strength within yourself instead of constantly seeking it from others. Take the story of Helen, a 75-year-old woman who lost her husband after 40 years of marriage. In the beginning, she leaned heavily on her children for emotional support. They visited often, checked in on her, and tried to keep her company. But as time went on, she realized they had families of their own, children to raise, careers to balance, and lives that demanded their attention. Helen understood that as much as they loved her, they couldn't fill the emptiness she felt inside. Instead of letting grief define her, Helen made a powerful choice. She decided to strengthen herself emotionally. She joined a local support group, where she met others who understood her pain. She began journaling every morning, pouring her thoughts and emotions onto paper. She even started practicing daily gratitude, reminding herself of the blessings she still had. Over time, Helen discovered something life-changing. She didn't need someone else to fix her sadness. The strength she had been searching for was within her all along. Emotional resilience isn't about pretending everything is fine or hiding your feelings. It's about facing pain honestly, processing it in a healthy way, and learning to move forward with grace and self-respect. It's about having healthy outlets, writing, meditation, therapy, prayer, or quiet self-reflection that allow you to find peace within yourself rather than depending on others to bring it to you. No matter what challenges life throws at you, the ability to stand firm and rebuild from within will always be one of your greatest sources of support. The more you cultivate emotional resilience, the less you'll rely on others to make you feel complete. Because at the end of the day, the one person who will always walk beside you through every hardship, every loss, and every triumph is you. Pillar 6. Your ability to adapt. If there's one universal truth about life after 60, it's this: nothing stays the same. People change, circumstances evolve, and the things you once depended on may no longer be as reliable as they once were. The secret to not just surviving, but thriving in this stage of life isn't clinging to the past. It's your ability to adapt. Those who resist change often feel left behind, while those who learn to adjust, mentally, emotionally, and practically, find new doors opening where old ones closed. Adaptability becomes your invisible armor, helping you face the unexpected with calm and confidence. The people who struggle the most with aging are often those who resist change, those who hold on too tightly to what was, instead of learning to embrace what is. They spend their energy longing for the past, trying to recreate moments that can never truly return. But those who learn to adjust, to stay open, and to welcome new experiences with curiosity, discover something extraordinary. Joy and fulfillment can exist at any age, no matter how much life changes. Many people assume that once they reach a certain age, their habits, routines, and mindset are fixed. They believe the phrase, "I'm too old for that," and close themselves off from growth. But that kind of thinking can quietly limit your happiness. It can prevent you from meeting new people, discovering new interests, or learning skills that could bring excitement and meaning to your days. Being adaptable isn't just about accepting change, it's about actively seeking ways to grow with it. Take the story of Frank, a 78-year-old man who had always depended on in-person friendships to stay connected. For most of his life, his social world revolved around familiar faces, local gatherings, and shared routines. But as the years passed, many of his friends moved away or passed on, leaving him feeling adrift. For a while, he thought to himself, "I guess this is just how it is when you get older." But one day, instead of giving in to loneliness, Frank made a choice to adapt. He learned how to use video calls to stay in touch with distant family. He joined an online discussion group about history, something he had always loved but never had the time to explore deeply. And in the process, he formed new friendships with people from different parts of the world. Frank didn't let change defeat him. He used it as a doorway to growth. The people who truly thrive after 60 aren't necessarily those with the most wealth or the biggest families. They are the ones who remain curious, flexible, and open-minded. When a door closes, they look for another one. When relationships evolve, they find new ways to connect. When old routines stop working, they aren't afraid to try something different. Your ability to adapt is one of the greatest pillars of support you'll ever have. It's what allows you to navigate life with resilience, optimism, and quiet strength. The more you embrace change instead of fearing it, the less you'll feel as though you're losing something, and the more you'll realize that every new stage of life brings something beautiful to gain. If you're still here and finding these insights meaningful, type 6 in the comments below to let me know you're watching. Your encouragement helps me continue creating thoughtful content that informs and inspires. Reaching 60 and beyond is a remarkable chapter in life, one filled with both wisdom and new challenges. It's a time when you begin to see life with deeper clarity, understanding what truly matters and what doesn't. Family will always have a special place in your heart, but the truth is, the most reliable support you'll ever have isn't found in others. It's built from within, from the foundation you create for yourself. Your financial stability protects your independence and ensures that you never have to rely on someone else to get by. Your physical health determines whether you can continue living freely and confidently, without limitations. Your social circle keeps your spirit alive, connecting you to laughter, companionship, and emotional fulfillment. Your sense of purpose gives everyday meaning, reminding you that there's always something worth waking up for. Your emotional resilience gives you the strength to face life's inevitable storms with calm and courage. And your ability to adapt allows you to thrive, not just survive, even when things don't go according to plan. Together, these 6 pillars create the foundation for a life of true balance, freedom, and peace. When you have these pillars firmly in place, you will never feel completely alone. You'll never have to beg for attention, rely on others for happiness, or wait for someone to rescue you from difficult times. Because real stability doesn't come from hoping others will be there. It comes from knowing you have built the strength to stand tall, no matter what life brings your way. Thank you for spending your time with us today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share in the comments one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your words truly inspire and motivate us to keep creating more meaningful content. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue bringing valuable information to empower and uplift your journey. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace, always. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more inspiring videos designed to help you live your best, most fulfilling life.